All right, guys, and welcome back to the Figuring Out Friday podcast brought to you by Healing Your Way. And I apologize, or we all apologize for being a little tardy on the start time. As you know, school just started back up again. We've had pretty busy schedule, so we're trying to stay on it for you guys. But yeah, um, like always, please like and subscribe to all of our platforms. We're here on Rumble, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So please check out all of those channels. It's at Healing Your Way. That's the handle. And yeah, and today we're gonna be going into some breathing techniques, like we kind of alluded to from the last episode. We have three different breathing techniques for you guys today. We're gonna be introducing what it is, the origins of them, and then talking about the benefits. And then we're gonna go into kind of a live demo so you guys can follow along or save this video so you can watch it or use it for later when you want to implement breathing techniques into your own life. So the three main ones that we have today are pranayama vasi breathing, then we have butaiko breathing, and then we have the Wim Hof breathing. So those are the three ones we're going to be doing today, and we just chose them out of interest. As far as the Vasi breathing, my brother and I took a class on it a little while ago, but the other two breathing techniques are I would say pretty well known, and they stood out to us, so we decided to incorporate them into this live for you guys. So yeah, uh, and let's get started with Butaiko breathing.
Thank you. Prit and I, we did some research on this, and we're very excited to tell you our findings. So let's start with the Buteyko breathing method. It was a technique that was developed in the 1950s by Dr. Konstantin Buteyko, who is a Ukrainian physician, and he noticed that many of his patients that had chronic illnesses, especially asthma, tended to breathe more heavily and more frequently than healthier individuals. And he hypothesized that overbreathing was actually harmful because it reduced carbon dioxide levels in the body, which led to a variety of um, health issues. And unlike the practices that Sahan and Joshan and Michael and Mike are going to go over, the Butaiko method is unique in its own way because it teaches people how to actually breathe less. And I think at first this might sound counterintuitive, but it really does have and has been scientifically tested and applied to help conditions like asthma, to sleep apnea, and anxiety. And in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to explain to you how it works, what the science says, the systems in the body it affects, and exactly how you can practice it yourself. That Prit is gonna do a live demo with you. So, what all of you might be asking is, how does the Buteyko method actually work from a scientific standpoint? And now, the central idea about the whole Buteyko method and the whole reason why it's its own method is because it's about restoring the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in your body. Now, when we overbreathe or hyperventilate, we often blow off too much carbon dioxide. And most people think carbon dioxide is just a waste of gas that we need to get rid of. But in fact, it does play this vital role in how oxygen is delivered to our tissues. And this is where some of you might be familiar with the Bohr effect and where it comes in, which is a principle in respiratory physiology. And this shows that the higher carbon dioxide levels actually help oxygen detach from the hemoglobin in the blood, allowing it to reach muscles, the brain, and other vital organs. So, by gently reducing your breathing volume and tolerating a little more carbon dioxide, your body becomes more efficient at oxygen delivery. And scientifically, this technique has also been shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body and which calms the body and lowers the heart rate and reduces the stress. These clinical trials also have demonstrated improvements in asthma control and reduced medication use, and an overall better quality of life for people that practice the Buteyko breathing regularly. Now, if we had to talk about the systems of the body that the Buteyko method impacts, we first have to touch on the respiratory system for obvious reasons. But by normalizing breathing patterns, the Buteyko helps people with asthma and other breathing disorders reduce symptoms like wheezing, coughing, and even shortness of breath. However, with the cardiovascular system, it shows how the more efficient oxygen delivery improves overall circulation and reduces strain on the heart and supports the healthier blood pressure. Some studies also suggest that it helps with better heart variability, which is a measure of resilience and stress balance. And with the nervous system, the Buteyko method activates the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic branch, which people often report helps them feel calmer, less anxious, and mentally more clear after practicing it. Finally, if we had to talk about the effect with the immune system, it really does reduce systemic stress and improves overall oxygen availability. And even some further evidence in the studies I'm going to talk about later, it really suggests that the Buteyko can enhance resilience and reduce inflammation. Although uh, more research could be done in this area, I will say. Before we go into the demo, I just wanted to explain the scientific research that I was going to mention. The Buteyko method has been studied in several randomized controlled trials, particularly in relation to asthma. Um, for example, in a 2008 study in the journal called the Thorax by Dr. Cowie and her colleagues, they found that patients practicing the Buteyko method significantly reduced their asthma symptoms and their medication use. In other studies, like Dr. Bowler in the Medical Journal of Australia in 1998, they also reported very similar benefits, with patients showing improved quality of life and much fewer asthma attacks. Beyond asthma, there's a growing interest in how the Buteyko can help with anxiety, panic attacks, and sleeping disorders, since it calms the nervous system and restores balance to breathing. Whilst, like I mentioned earlier, there is still more research that is required to fully understand all of its applications. The existing evidence that I've just told you is quite promising. So I think whether you're someone dealing with respiratory issues or looking for a natural stress management or just curious about optimizing your breathing, I think the Buteyko method really does offer a scientifically grounded and practical technique that you could even start exploring today. And from that, I'm gonna pass it to Prit, and he's gonna explain the steps for the Buteyko method.
All right, so I'm going to be going over the Buteyko method. So for this method of breathing, first you
Oh,
want to.
and by the way, all of us will be following along, so we'll get some practice in. Maybe we'll even take it and use it ourselves to following.
So for this method, as I was saying, you would want to sit up straight in your chair. And normally for this method, it's recommended that you would do this for 10 to 20 minutes daily. But since that we're just like trying this out, we could just do this for like a few minutes or so. But the goal of this breathing is to breathe slowly and gently through your nose, because your nose will filter out the air and humidify the air to have facilitate easier access of oxygen to your body. So you want to make sure that you're just breathing through your nose for this technique. And
So
first,
no mouth breathing at all.
yeah, no mouth breathing for this one. It'll also help your jawline if you breathe through your nose as well. So there's that. So first, you want to breathe slowly and shallowly through your nose. And you're going to do this until you reach a point where you feel that you have a hunger for air, sort of, is how you would describe it. And once you reach this point, you would go to the next step where you would stop breathing and hold your nose and see for how long that you'll be able to um, not intake oxygen until you feel like that sense of air that you need like more air. And
Can you show the rhythm of the shallow inhale and exhale? Is it like kind of like just this kind of like inhale, exhale, but pretty slowly? Like I'm not taking a deep breath in, like I'm just
yeah. So you're not going to be taking any deep breaths because as I mentioned, you would have to breathe gently. So it would be like a small inhale, and then it will be like a longer exhale. And you want to be like you're shallow breathing almost, and you want to be like you're not even breathing. Like you should have that sensation or
so
keep that sensation in mind.
you're barely inhaling and you're exhaling for like a little bit longer.
And it should get slower and slower until you reach a point where it's slightly hard to breathe, and that is when you hold your breath. And this is known as like the control point, and this is where you will actually train your CO2 tolerance, as Alex was saying, because the more you practice this breathing, the time period where you'll need air again when you're holding your breath will increase, and this will train your CO2 tolerance to make your breathing better and more efficient in the long run. So I guess I'll demonstrate it now. So you'll sit straight in your chair and breathe gently and slowly. You can do this for a minute or two until you get the rhythm down. And make sure close your eyes too to just focus on breathing through your nose. And once you get to a point where you feel like you need air, hold your breath and see how long you can hold it for. So then you will repeat that for a few more times until you eventually do that for 10 to 20 minutes. And this will help build up your CO2 tolerance and help you breathe efficiently and deliver O2 more efficiently to your muscles.
Yo, that was low-key crazy. But I
Yeah,
felt
right.
like good. It felt like good after, like
that breath right after you exhale, like when you
And
breathe in, exhale, and then breathe in again. I feel like
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Bro, and that's only once. You're supposed to do it 10 to
Yeah.
20 times in a span period.
Also, you guys have a lot of sets in with this breathing method.
Yeah. So like imagine how much like clarity you get afterwards.
yeah, just that. Yeah, I had like an instant kind of sense of clarity. Like
Well,
it-
the
you
slow
reach
and
a point where
steady
you almost
the slow and
Go ahead.
steady breathing that you're doing is, as Alex mentioned, is going to force your body into that parasympathetic state, which is why you feel more calmer, and it should lower your hormones like cortisol too, to give you that sense of calmness and relaxation too.
and for you, if you guys don't know, the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for rest and digest. The sympathetic is the typical fight or flight that you usually hear, but to calm and kind of wind down, the parasympathetic is what gets activated. So if you're able to wind down and directly affect your parasympathetic nervous system with this type of breathing, and you're able to take less breaths, I think that's an important thing also. Like Alex said, taking less breaths is better than more breaths, which are not going to be as good quality of inhale. And I think that oxygen delivery is just going to be much better when you're getting good quality breaths in instead of large number of breaths in. Because if you think about it, you need more breaths because your breathing is so messed up that you're not able to get enough oxygen efficiently in each of your breaths. So yeah, what do you guys rate this one?
What's also interesting is like we didn't mention this, but a lot of people use this breathing technique for when they have a clogged nose. But like what's different is like when they hold their nose, they go like this while they're doing it, and that supposedly helps them unclog their nose.
So they hold their nose, they go up and down.
Yeah.
That was an interesting fact right there.
Wait, so just run through like a scenario of that real quick. So like they're doing the breathing, like
Yeah. So would they be mouth breathing still?
No, they would they would not be mouth breathing.
no, there's no mouth breathing in this technique.
They would do it. They would go through the steps as normal, and then when they get to the part where they hold their breath, they would just bob their head in like a forward motion to, I guess, to create a movement to unclog your nose.
So does that
Along
bring
with
all of the mucus kind of down towards the bottom of your nostrils? So would you kind of have to like blow your nose after if you are clogged up and are doing that kind of a motion?
I would imagine if it was really clogged, then I would imagine you would probably need to do that at the end.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
just
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna wrap up unless Prit has anything else to say.
No.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to say that like the whole thing here is that less is more, and by breathing less, we actually breathe better. That's the whole like theory behind the Buteyko method.
Yeah, and that's you'll see a little bit later when we get to Devasi breathing. I'm not exactly sure about the Wim Hof, but the same kind of principle applies. But they view it in a different type of way, and it's going to be nice when I kind of explain the origins and philosophy behind it. But yeah, going back to the rating, Prit kind of went off a little tangent there. But yeah, what do you guys rate this method on a scale of 1 through 10 as far as like clarity, how you think it'll benefit winding down or activating parasympathetic nervous system, and also helping you breathe better? And yeah, what would you guys rate it on a scale of 1 through 10? Should we put up numbers, or is everyone gonna say individually?
Well, if you have like something to say, you can say it. But I think like we didn't do the full breathing. I know it's supposed to be for 20 minutes. But out of that small amount of time, I feel like I got a lot of relaxation from that. So yeah, but we can do the numbers if you guys want.
All right, ready? Everyone, put your ratings from 1 through 10. All right, starting now. In 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Alex got 8.
9.
I got 9. Prit got 9. Our brother got 8. Mike got 8, and then Michael got 8. Okay, that's pretty good ratings. And this is something
off to a
simple.
strong start.
You just repeat that for however many intervals you would like, right? Or is there like kind of a set number that you should go for?
Yeah, you don't have to do this for 20 minutes straight. You could even break it up like 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, whatever works best, as long as you get that constant like repetition in to train your CO2 tolerance and just make it so that you have more CO2 in your body so that your body knows to better drop off O2.
Got it. Well, yeah,
Chat
thank you.
chat
Oh.
wants to know like
Oh.
is there an example video of this technique that we can use? Like some professional performing it?
I mean, if you search up the technique on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find a video.
Mhm.
Me personally, I came across some videos on TikTok, so there's that method as well. But you can search up on any form of media that you would like, and the method should pop up.
Yeah, and also in the chat, even if we don't have one now, after the stream, I'll put some links to some of the videos that we might need for the Wim Hof or this breathing or the pranayama breathing. So you guys can come back here and just click on it, watch the video.
And just how do you spell Butaiko? I might butcher this right now. I think it's Buteyko, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to search it up, just type that into whatever media source you use, and then maybe you can find a video. But like Joseph said, we're gonna provide some links for you guys. And yeah, thanks, Alex and Prit.
Got you.
Okay, now let's get into the Wim Hof breathing.
Okay, so I can start off. The Wim Hof breathing came from Wim Hof, which is a Dutch man who he was nicknamed the Iceman because he actually had lost his wife, which is very tragic. And in that time, he felt a lot of sadness, and it felt very overwhelming for him. So to calm his body and mind, he would find himself immersing in ice cold water, and that would give immediate relief for him. And so that immediate shock that the body feels would immediately bring him into the present moment, which was able to calm his mind and racing thoughts. But it was not as effective because to do that, you would have to have some way of combating like the body's stress response. So that's when he began experimenting, like trial and error with breathing. And this was able to catch attention because at first people thought it was a stunt. When you're walking barefoot in the snow, swimming under ice, or running marathons in like the cold winter. Again, he's Dutch. And when scientists actually studied him, they found that his breathing method actually does change the body's chemistry through shifting pH, hormones, and even the immune system's response to infection. So this breathing technique actually goes through 3 phases, almost similar to the last one. And the first phase is the hyperventilation phase. Second phase is the breath hold, and third being the recovery breath. So with the hyperventilating phase, and of course, Mike will go through it. I'm just going to run through the science behind it. It would reduce the CO2 in the body, and this raises the blood pH, making the blood more alkaline, which is like cleaning the blood chemically. And this would also delay the urge for you to breathe when you're hyperventilating because you have more oxygen in and you're able to breathe longer than usual. And during this time, the blood is also saturated with oxygen. So tissue delivery may be reduced temporarily since CO2 actually helps oxygen peel off from your blood. So because oxygen tends to want to stay tightly connected to blood. So with less CO2 in your body, less oxygen is coming to your tissues, muscles, brain, whatever. And then for the breath hold, when you're holding your breath, the CO2 rises in your body again, and this causes the reset in your chemoreceptor sensitivity in your brain. And this reset causes a mild stress response to go off into the sympathetic, which is your fight or flight. So you'll feel faster heart rate and more alertness. And during this time, and prolonged practices of the Wim Hof breathing, it will improve your CO2 tolerance, and therefore you'll feel less anxiety when you feel air hungry. And then for the recovery phase, the recovery breath, it refills your oxygen and stabilizes your gas, and you're gonna rebound into the deep calm relaxation when normal breathing continues. So the overall effect of this would be short-term adrenaline surge due to the study showing a release of I think I might butcher this, but it's catecholamine. And just like catecholamine, it's a stress hormone, just like adrenaline. So that's where you get that shift in hormones, and you get mood and focus boost thanks to the neurochemical changes and altering the brain waves and anti-inflammatory signals. And there's actually a study done on this one where in 2014, scientists actually inject a bacteria that would cause inflammatory responses in your body. And the patients who were also practitioners of the Wim Hof were able to combat it and lessen the inflammatory responses. So the importance of that is it's one of the first times they've ever seen a human be able to control the typical responses from like an infection, for example. And just to make sure, it's not ideal before bedtime because you're gonna want to sleep, and this method actually helps you become more alert and calm. And also don't do it in moments of panic. So he did mention no doing this under pool, shower, or you're controlling a vehicle. So that's why you want to sit or lie down in a safe environment when doing this. And if you have any certain health conditions. And throughout this, you're also going to feel tinnitus symptoms, which is just a fancy word for like the ringing or buzzing in your ears. And it's that perception you have of sound where there isn't any actual sound. So, and it's caused from the breathing changing, the breathing changes the pressure in your chest and also blood flow in the head. And again, the adrenaline causes the temporary ringing. So if you notice throughout the Wim Hof breathing, if it's not your body breaking down when you feel that the tinnitus symptoms, it's just signaling that you might be forcing it too much, because this is a practice where you want to gradually build up and not a max effort sort of thing. So yeah.
And I had a question, but I have a follow-up question after. So
Yes.
Wim Hof, when he does these breathings or breathing technique, is he usually in the cold water or like freezing water? Like
That was before he got into the actual breathing. He in the beginning he did that cold water shock for the body, and he just found that like it's hard to deal with the actual cold shock because you could possibly hyperventilate or whatever. So that's why he switched more into trial and error for the breathing.
Mhm. And I saw a couple of videos like him doing breathing inside of freezing cold water, and I'm thinking maybe if people practice both at the same time, they'll have many recovery effects that they can use even if they're working out or things like that. I don't know, maybe it will boost
Yeah.
your recovery if you do both.
Yeah, for
at the
sure.
same time.
I think for athletes, that's why if you ever do a cold plunge or anything, you really have to be a master at controlling your like your respiratory system. So again, with this practice, it's a gradual buildup, not a max effort, but kind of like in strength training, or like for example, if you're doing an ab workout with body weight, and once you're like used to it, you can add weight on top of that. So like I think that's where you can add the cold water.
And just to say something, if you look at like videos of Wim Hof, this guy is like nuts. He will do his breathing techniques, and then he'll swim in the water where there's like icebergs around. So he is like on another superhuman type of level. If you just watch him swimming in the Arctic, pretty much. I don't know what country it is exactly, or what area exactly he is, but I just know I see him swimming next to icebergs, and I know that water is
Yeah,
crazy.
and he's
Crazy
also
cold.
probably using that breathing to warm up his body as well, and he's using it as a tool while he's
Yeah.
even swimming in that water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can go into performing it. So just to go over it, like Michael mentioned, this may cause like lightheadedness. So I don't want anyone passing out. So just sit tight, or even lay down if that's more comfortable for our viewers. So we will be taking around 30 deep breath. So I want you guys to breathe in through your nose, deep breath, and I want you to feel your belly expanding. When our belly is expanding, that means our diaphragm is working, which means we are breathing correctly. So once you feel, I want you to practice right now. Just take deep breath, feel your abdomen expanding, and breathe out with your mouth. Do right now. So by 30 deep breath, I mean you gotta be doing like back to back to back to back. There is no breaks between exhalation and inhalation. So when
And
you
am I
exhale,
sitting upright like this,
yeah,
or
it doesn't
just
matter.
you can do whatever?
Whatever. The main point is if you pass out, you will pass out in the chair.
All right.
And also, is any of the breaths like forceful? Should it be a forceful inhale and exhale, like a
No, you just have to feel your belly expanding. That's it.
And
okay.
the audience and you guys too, it could help if you put your one hand on your stomach and one hand on your chest, just to make sure your stomach expands first,
Mhm.
then your chest.
So you're
Wait, wait,
expanding your
let me
chest
do let me
after,
do like
right?
side let me do like a quick side profile so people
Okay,
can
okay,
like
go
see.
ahead, go ahead.
Could see. All right, ready? So I'll do like what people usually do, like, and breathe with their kind of chest expanding. Like they go like this. That's not the type of breathing you want to do. You want to just have your belly go out like.
Yep.
And
Kinda
this
like
is
that.
similar to a lot of the pranayama breathing techniques that we'll talk about later too.
Yep.
Yeah, a hand on the like Michael said, a hand on the belly is like a good cue.
And you could kind of tell if you're breathing wrong too, if you want to try to figure out if you're doing it right or not. You have your hand, so you can start.
Okay, so I'll count with my fingers at 30, okay? So after 30, on last exhale, don't breathe in. Just you gotta hold it. After 30. Once you breathe out, hold it. And you get to hold like however long you can hold. Like there's no specific timer, but he says around first time around the 30-second to 1 minute range. And after first round, he recommends like 1 minute and 30 seconds later inhaling. So after you feel like you're not able to hold your breath anymore, just hold it in. It's gotta be deep breath and hold that for 10 to 15 seconds. And you breathe out. And that's 1 round. Okay, you guys get it? Any questions?
Also, if you're doing this like the whole is this the whole cycle like 30 breaths, or is there like a longer version? Like, do people do it for like maybe?
It can go up to 40.
Okay.
So he doesn't recommend going over 40. 30 to 40 range.
And one more question on number 30. Are we
Mhm.
holding on an inhale or holding
Exhale.
on an exhale? Okay.
Third be gonna be and hold.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No breaks between breaths. Okay. Let's go. Deep inhale, hold it. Let it go. And you do this for 3 rounds. This was first round.
We're doing 2 other rounds.
No, it will take long. So
Okay.
for time management reasons, let's just
Yeah.
stick to the first round.
I did feel a little bit of that fatigue that you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
so,
I
if you're
felt a
prepared
little
to
like
do it, yeah.
burn in the nose, like a good burn. I don't know if you guys felt that
Mm.
too. Like
And how was the breath hold? Not too bad.
not like
No,
the
no.
other one. The other
Yeah,
one,
right?
the other one was crazy. But this one, like not like crazy in a bad way. I think
Yeah.
I think that technique is still like very good as well. But this one was not as intense, I would say. But yeah, the thing about this one, the pause and then the inhale feels like really
Mhm.
nice.
I feel like this one has like more of like a clearing effect, like in your head. Like my head feels
Yeah,
more
right.
clear.
It gets you like ready. You ready to go right now, right? And it was just off first round. So imagine after 3 rounds, I feel like you can swim with icebergs. You know.
Yeah, hopefully maybe we
I'm
can
ready.
do a vlog one day.
Maybe
Yeah.
if
That's the
Um,
next
icebergs.
challenge.
I low-key can't swim though, so I don't know how we're gonna run that.
Yeah, you guys don't want the smoke.
Oh,
yeah, maybe you guys remember when we talked about morning routines and cold showers? Maybe people can do 1 round and like after that first round, just go in cold shower morning. You know, whoever has difficulty maybe or is getting cold easier.
yeah, then you
So
get like a
cold showers.
double dopamine.
Yeah.
You get one from the breathing, and then you get an extra one from the cold exposure. So you're like kind of like high is gonna be like on a different level. Like you're gonna be in the type of background
Yeah.
Mike is in right now. But yeah, all right. Should we go straight
yeah,
to the
let's rate
rating,
it.
or do you
Yeah.
guys have any other comments about it?
Okay,
Okay,
ready?
let's
No
just go.
comments.
Okay. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh damn,
Wait, what?
we got a little outlier there.
Okay, so
Can you explain yourself?
Interesting.
Alex. So first Alex, then Prit.
So I'm not gonna lie, this really fatigued me, and now I have a minor headache.
Yeah, maybe you have to improve your CO2 capacity and stuff like that, bro.
So
So
I
you
think
would recommend him to keep practicing these techniques or what?
What?
Wait, I don't get it. So how did the Butaiko one make you feel that?
Yeah, but I want to get me energized, and now this one I'm still battling with this headache, bro.
I'm sorry to hear
man.
that. Okay, then yeah. See, some of you
Not for everybody.
might
Mhm.
have this type of experience when you do the Wim Hof. So then you have the Butaiko to kind of recycle and transition to if the Wim Hof doesn't work for you.
Yeah, these are all different, so everybody can choose. All you guys that are watching, pay attention to how we react to it. That's why we're testing it out,
Mhm.
and go from there. If you guys know that you're not going to be ready for the Wim Hof breathing and it's too intense, go with the Buteyko breathing.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think thanks Mike and Michael for the Wim Hof technique, and it was really cool to know.
No
So
problem.
now you guys have two. You have the Buteyko and you have the Wim Hof. Now we're gonna go, or I'm gonna go into Vasi breathing. It's Vasi is like a particular technique that's part of pranayama, which is pretty much of like it pranayama's translation is control of the breath. So pretty much Vasi breathing is like a kind of sub discipline of pranayama. So just kind of going into it, this is like a kind of a yogic tradition, like a very, very old and ancient yogic tradition of pranayama. Um, Many gurus have and yogis have been doing this for thousands and thousands of years, and there's even a whole philosophy and origin behind it. And like I said, me and my brother took the class for it, like I think a little while ago, like when we were still in high school. I think I was like around 16 years old. So some of the information is not all there for me. So I have a couple notes on the slide I'm going to be referring to from all the notes that we took during the lessons that we had there. But yeah, like I said, Vasi breathing comes from the yogic tradition of pranayama, and it again the translation means control of the breath in India. So how the yogis kind of see breath is they see it more than just an element that you are uptaking, such as oxygen. They see it more than that. They see it as something called prana, which is your kind of life energy or life force that that drives us. So to them, the breath, taking in a breath, is the same thing as breathing in life force or life energy, and it's something very sacred and very special. So for thousands of years, they believe that by slowing and mastering and controlling the breath, you could connect to the vacuum. So what do I mean by the vacuum? So in in physics terms or in modern day terms, a vacuum is space devoid of matter. So it's pretty much nothingness. It's there's no matter there. It's just void. It's just space. So the way the yogis kind of saw it as in that nothingness you have pure consciousness or the source of creation, and it's kind of related to an idea of bliss and the source and the creator. So when you are devoid or when you are the vacuum, the closer you are to the source of creation is what they believe. So by controlling your breath, you could, and this comes with the thing about taking less breaths. The less breaths that you take, that means the more time you're spending with, or you're getting closer to the source of creation. And a lot of the main goals of yogis back in the day and even now is to reach enlightenment or to reach a higher power. So pretty much through this, through connecting to pure consciousness and the source of creation, through these yogic breathing techniques, they were able to reach enlightenment and further their spiritual understanding as well. So there's a lot of mental and physical benefits that come from um, Vasi breathing or pranayama in general. And just to go into a little bit about the philosophy. So what they believe is that we live in three ordinary states, and these states are walking, dreaming, and sleeping. But there's actually a fourth state that they kind of focus on or admire a lot, which is called Turiya or transcendence. So it's not one of the three. Like I said, walking, dreaming, and sleeping. It's pretty much a state where the body is deeply rested, but the mind is fully aware. So your body is very deeply rested, no injuries or nothing. You feel very calm, but you're fully aware at the same time. It's like double opposites pretty much. But when you think about it, this is kind of like the ideal state you would want to be in, especially if you're trying to reach for something as a as accomplishment as enlightenment. So Vasi breathing was developed as a way to kind of enter that sort of state. So like like say for example, you try to get into avatar state, then Vasi breathing is like you're training to get into avatar state where the body is deeply rested, but you have full awareness and full control over yourself.
Mm.
So there's a big spiritual component to this as well. Now moving on to what happens physically. So just a couple statistics. The average person breathes 12 to 15 times per minute, and when you're breathing around this type of rate, that's usually means that you're taking very shallow, quick breaths. On the contrary, with Vasi breathing, the rate drops too after performing this or incorporating it into your routine. You can drop the rate of your breaths per minute to around 4 or 5 breaths, and that shift actually is very dramatic and changes a lot of things. So this still goes to the type of principle that Alex and Pitt were talking about with the Buteyko breathing, that less breaths are better, and it has a lot of physical benefits as well. So what happens with this? You have more oxygen because lower, deeper breaths expand the lungs and increase oxygen in the bloodstream a lot better. So you're expanding the lungs a lot more when you're taking those very deep breaths as compared to taking those much more shallow breaths. And you get a lot of rest for the heart. So one thing that I did see, we did have pulse oximeters. I know this kind of goes against the thing with what we talked about last episode with the body chargers guy, where he talked about that. Oh, just checking when you're doing the pulse oximeter, you're only really detecting the cells in the fingertips. But what was cool is that we measured before our resting heart rates, and I would say for mine personally, I was sitting around the 70s to 80s range, and I think that's like average for an everyday person. But after we went through the whole routine of breathing, I went and checked it again. The pulse oximeter gives you 2 readings. It gives you the lung capacity and also the heart rate. So the lung capacity was around like 98, which is still pretty good and normal. But after it, I was able to get to 100% lung capacity, and then my resting heart rate dropped all the way to like the 40s and 50s, which is actually more of like a high level athlete type of heart rate range, because heart rate also kind of tells you how cardiovascularly fit you are at the same time. So I thought it was really cool that I was able to drop by 20 in just a matter of maybe 20 minutes of doing this breathing. So that's what happens. And then you also have nitric oxide boost. So holding the breath, especially after an exhale, increases nitric oxide levels. This is kind of what we did with the Wim Hof, and this molecule improves circulation, relaxes blood vessels, and has antiviral and antimicrobial effects. So you're doing a lot by stimulating that nitric oxide boost. And then finally, we have immune function. So some studies even show that Vasi practice increased white blood cell count. And that's a big thing right there, because white blood cells are a big part of the immune response. And if you can increase the count, then the better your immune system will be able to uphold itself. So when you see all of these stats as far as what it does physically, you kind of realize that the yogis were kind of on to something, that it really wasn't just about this wacko philosophy, that they were actually discovering stuff through tradition, through practice, and through many years. And with the physical benefits also comes the mental and emotional benefits. So the breath and the mind move together, and when the breath is fast, thoughts race. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably experienced this before. When you're breathing fast, or you find yourself breathing fast, your thoughts are racing at super high speeds, and then following along with that comes stress and more things. So when the breath is slow, on the other hand, the mind is able to quiet down, and this relates to that part we were talking about the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest. So breath plays a big factor as far as what's happening to you mentally and emotionally. And Vasi breathing deliberately slows thoughts, creates a space for calmness and clarity. And even modern neuroscience shows us too, that slow breathing calms the amygdala, which is the brain's fear center, and reduces stress and anxiety. And then another component to Vasi breathing that is a bit different from other breathing techniques is the incorporation of chanting, which is in the form of sound. So chanting Om or the seed sounds called the Bija mantras pretty much creates vibrations that settle the nervous system. So when you're using sound and incorporating it with this breathing, you're creating vibrations that are affecting the body. And this chanting is going to reduce activity in the brain's default mode network, which is the part that generates rumination and things like negative self-talk. So together, the breath plus the sound doesn't only calm the body, it also clears the mind as well. So that's the second component that's super important. And now I'm gonna get into how kind of the yogis describe the body, and this is kind of gonna steer away from all the scientific terminology that people use to talk about things. But they they first look at the nadis, and the ancient texts say that we have 72,000 nadis or energy channels in our body, which carry prana through the body. And like I said before, prana is the life force that we breathe in. And the three that kind of matter the most or affect us the most are the right nadi, which is going to be where your right nostril is, or right side of the body, which is responsible for your solar and hot, or the sun nadi. That's what it's also called. And that's going to be responsible for energizing the body. Then you have the left nadi, which is the moon nadi, and this is going to be the cool and the calming nadi. So you have those two main ones, and then you also have the central nadi, which is the sushmana nadi, which runs up pretty much the spine or the center of your body. So when both nostrils are open evenly, that means that Sushma is active, or Sushmana is active, and that's the pathway to balance and higher consciousness, like I was talking about earlier. So the breath naturally switches nostrils every 2 hours to keep the system balanced. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this. It was kind of a cool thing when I was getting taught this practice. That I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that you may not be clogged within the sinuses, but for some reason you try to blow your nose on both sides, but you can only seem to feel a breath out of
try it right now.
one nostril.
You'll feel, if you put like your finger both here, you'll feel it come out of mostly one nostril.
This is not all the time, but I don't know if you guys have experienced this before, but like I just said, if air is coming out of both nostrils evenly, then that means the Sushma nadi is the one that's activated. But you can kind of tell what's going on with you, or what's being affected, your sun nadi or your moon nadi, based off of the breath that's coming out of your nostrils. And I've noticed this many times before, that I was only able to breathe through one nostril, even though my sinuses were fully clear. I don't know if you guys share that experience as well. And moving on to the chakras, along the Sushmana nadi are 7 chakras or energy centers for the body. And each chakra is activated by sound. So that's why we incorporate the chanting into this practice. And these sounds are the Bija mantras. So for example, the root chakra is linked to the sound Lam, and the earth element, which is grounding and also protects us. And the second chakra vibrates with Vam, which is tied to water and sexuality. Each chakra has its own sound, and chanting them during breath work is said to activate and purify them. So you're purifying the body and your energy chakras when you are incorporating the chanting. So this is going to cleanse both the body and the mind. And then we have the five major pranas. So breath is also breath also directs energy into 5 main bodily systems. The samana prana, which supports digestion, the apana prana, which governs elimination, or when I mean elimination, talking about removing toxins from the body or removing waste from the body. And pranavayu fills the heart and the lungs. And udana prana clears the throat and the head. And Vyana prana circulates energy throughout the body. So this pretty much shows that Fosse breathing doesn't just calm you; it rebalances the vital processes across all of these different organ systems and bodily processes. And then you can even further this into elements and disease. So how they see it as the body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, and air, and space. That's the actual one. And space is also referring to that vacuum, like I was talking about earlier. So 4 of them can cause disease when imbalanced. I'm not going to go into all of them, but just for example, kapha, which is the water element, illnesses when this one is imbalanced include mucus congestion and COVID-like issues. So when you're having some type of problems, especially with the sinuses, see it as when one of these 5 elements are out of balance. And even acupuncture kind of takes this philosophy as well. There's a way to or philosophy about acupuncture where they look at the different elements and imbalances in the body, and they address all of these things. So sound in the body. So finally, sound, the yogic philosophy says that the entire body is vibration, and they say that every cell carries sound, and that there are 72,000 sounds tied to those 72,000 nadis, and each chakra is like a yantra or a sound pattern. And when you chant all of these different chants, such as Lam Bum and other mantras, those vibrations ripple throughout the body. And this is going to activate your chakras and even radiate outward through the pores as part of your aura. So you increase your aura when you do this type of breathing too. So and even one person practicing with pure intent is said to positively affect 99 others around them. So as far as energy, your aura is going to expand so much, you're going to have a positive aura to affect as much as 99 other individuals around you. So that just shows the powerfulness of this breathing in itself. And yeah, that was my little rant about it. There's a lot more to it, and you can go very in detail. But just for time's sake, so I'm gonna put a bow on it at that and let Joshin go into the demonstration.
So we'll be doing the Vasi breathing technique. I kind of want to go into this other one called the Dirga Pranayam, but that one kind of teaches you how to breathe correctly. But the Vasi breathing technique, I have a little disclaimer. You will usually do this breathing technique in the morning or the evening, and also on an empty stomach. If you eat 3 to 4 hours before, that's okay as well. And we're not going to do the full breathing because it's nighttime now, and you should do it in the evening. But we'll do 1 set. So there's going to be in total. There's regularly 3 sets, but you do 10 reps and 1 rep. So basically, what you're going to do is try to choose which nostril you want to go from, or which nadi which is the channel where the energy flows. So if you want to be more relaxed, you would breathe through the left nostril, which is the parasympathetic, and it is also the moon nadi. And if you want to be more energetic, you would breathe through the right nostril, which is the sun nadi that San was talking about earlier. So
hold on 1 second. I forgot to include one thing earlier. So the guy that was kind of going around during and teaching us this technique, he was going around during COVID, and that was when when we were all around that age, 16, 17. COVID was the main issue at that time, and he was kind of going around to show it to counter the acts of COVID and promote a health recovery if you had COVID, or just doing it for regular prevention against it. And one other thing that I forgot to include about illness is that space, the element of space, is unique, and that it's the only element that does not cause illness, while all the others cause illness. Space protects and creates immunity, and when you do the breathing technique, it gives you immunity, like I was telling you. So space is just, think about it as that higher consciousness element that is there, but it's not really affecting you in the way that the other four elements are going to. And yeah, Joseph, you can go back to continue.
So I'll repeat it again. So there's going to be three sets, but and each set is 10 reps. And you kind of go off where if you were breathing in the morning versus if you're breathing in the evening. Right now it's later in the day, so we're going to be breathing through the moon nadi. So that we can have more of a relaxed rest of the day and be more calm. So
Oh, and I have a question. Earlier, you were doing like the nostril test. So based on whichever side has, I guess, you feel the difference in whether it's weaker or stronger, would you change the technique at all?
I think it comes with consistency and doing this breathing technique like every day, and you will kind of balance it over time. I think it should be if you are later in the day, you should focus on the more calming and the breathe through the moon nadi, so that you can be more calm instead of you don't want to be more alert during at the nighttime. So like even though it's imbalance on one side, you still should do it based off what time it is in the day. So how it goes for if we want to do it through a relaxing way, is you would take your we're just gonna practice the movement. So you would take your right hand, since we're breathing through the left nostril, and put it over your right nostril.
Wait, what? You mean right hand?
Yeah, your right hand. Take your right hand. Well, this is my right hand, but so take your right hand and put it on your right nostril, and so we're not going to do it yet, but I'm just showing you. So you would put it on here, and you would every breath is forceful. It has to be like you're blowing your nose. And so once you breathe out and then breathe in, then that's when the counting starts. After the breathe in, but you're still holding this. After you breathe in, you're going to count to 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then breathe out, and then count another 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then again. Yeah, and then that's and 2 times out and in counts as 1 rep. And there's 10.
So this is all happening through my left nostril, right?
Yeah, through your left nostril.
All right.
Yeah. So you're not switching. But so we'll start. Well, I guess we'll start now. So ready? Remember, all breaths are forceful. And also we'll do one set, but usually the last breath of the third set is and you breathe out. Like I said, it's kind of similar to how the Wim Hof was earlier. How when you breathe out and you hold it as long as you can, and that's the last one. And then you take a deep breath in after. And so let's start. And then you, in between the sets, you would usually do normal breathing and then start again. But that last one where we held our breath would usually be done at the last set. But we're only going to be doing one today, because it is actually later in the day. It's not evening, so we technically shouldn't be doing it at this time. But since we're only doing one set, it's okay.
But does the side you were covering, doesn't it feel like very warm for you guys or no?
Yeah, it feels like very humid. I think it's because like the way that you're breathing through one nostril is just making it
Yeah,
really
like,
humid.
it warms it up. Like my right side feels like very
Yeah. So just remember, guys, in and out is 1 rep, and you're doing that for 10 reps and for 3 sets. And the last breath out is when you hold and then you let go and then take a deep breath in. But
and when on the
yeah.
exhale, one thing about the exhale is that you kind of want to have your belly button and your back like touch together. So you're like you're squeezing your gut together pretty much. Like
Yeah,
that's how forceful the exhale is. So you're squeezing it to the point where like you have no air left inside you like at all. And then that's when you like the count. I think you were counting a little fast. The count starts like after you fully like and your gut, your stomach, your belly button, and your back are like squeezed together. That's when the count starts. So it'll be like, and then now when the air was all out, then I start. That's when I would start the count.
And also, when you're breathing out all the toxins and whatever illnesses you're carrying. So breathing in, you're breathing in the energy. But yeah. Just
And
a
I
side
got
note.
Joseph, let me share my screen real quick. I'm just gonna show the 2 pictures that I got. All right, so this is the well, let me try to zoom.
And also, I wanted to say the last breath when you take in air from both nostrils, is when you have the Shanmanadi, or I don't know how to pronounce, but that's the one that goes from the root chakra all the way to the crown chakra, and that's what you're kind of opening up towards the end. So
Yeah, the goal is to have the Sushmana Nadi activated. But yeah, like you can see here, this is the Sun Nadi and the Moon Nadi, and then it says right here that the network of energy centers or chakras, like I said, and channels. So this is actually a good infographic because it shows you how each of these terms are or what they kind of mean. So the chakras are the energy centers of your body. So there's going to be one at each point in this kind of center of your body, and those are going to be the energy centers. And then the nadis, the 72,000 nadis are the channels in which your life energy flows. So so just think of the nadis as channels, and then think of the chakras as pools of energy or energy centers where there's a lot of energy that's particular to that area of the body. And then right here, like we said, the right is the sun channel or the sun nadi, and the left is the moon channel or moon. So channel and nadi are kind of like interchangeable. And you can see these are the kind of sensations or qualities that you're either inhaling or exhaling out. So for the right side, it's going to be the quality of physical and mental activity, and for the left side, it's going to be quality of emotion, desire, and existence. So both of those are important. And then I have one more kind of thing that goes over the chakras. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Here, these are the 7 chakras. You have the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra. And you can, as you can see right here, they all kind of all of these different energy centers have distinguishing characteristics. So the root chakra is going to be energy, stability, comfort, and safety. Sacral one is going to be sensuality, sexuality, pleasure, and sociability. The solar plexus is going to be strength, personality, power, and determination. Heart chakra is going to be acceptance, love, compassion, and sincerity. The throat chakra is going to be communication, expression, creativity, and inspiration. Third eye chakra is going to be intuition, lucidity, meditation, and trust. And the crown chakra is going to be knowledge, consciousness, fulfillment, and spirituality. So I actually really like how it says at the base, I am, and at the sacral, I feel, I do, I love, I talk, I see, and I understand. That's kind of like, it's kind of like a progression of how you view things spiritually. So you're rooted here, you have your main feelings here, these are the reasons why you do everything, your power and all that comes from here. Your compassion and love for others around you and for yourself is here. Then how you express yourself, self-expression. I think the reason why it's in the throat chakra is because we use our voice a lot to communicate and self-express. And then the third eye is where all the mental stuff comes into play, like intuition, lucidity, like I just said. And then when you get up to here is when you kind of reach that kind of final stage of knowledge and consciousness, and you kind of are pushing the barrier to enlightenment. So you kind of need all of these to kind of open and be in balance with yourself to get a good balance and reach that higher power.
And
Yeah.
if you guys, well, I have one more breathing technique after this one. It's another pranayam, but if you guys want to, if you have any comments for that last one, or what you guys want to say, or we can vote on what you thought about it.
I just want to say, after that you unlock the last chakra, you will be able to visit the place that's right behind me, and you will achieve enlightenment. You see, I'm here already, so now it's
You
your turn.
unlocked the crown chakra already.
Yeah, see the enlightenment. I'm trying to send out the signals to my audience so I can light them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, just like
aura
the chakra.
Yeah,
the
your
aura.
aura is affecting 99 people around you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys pay attention and pick it up, because I'm like straight source.
Mhm.
Let's just say Philadelphia has it covered, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Very good.
okay, so okay, we can rate this one if you guys like. So 3, 2, 1. I don't.
I'm a little biased because like it really worked for me when I did the whole thing. Like you probably won't see as much benefit from just one round, but that's why.
Oh, I mean like the
I get
whole thing. Like
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
for me, well, if it's the whole thing, then
Well, I just experienced the first round, or the, if you can say, last round, because we held the breath. So I don't know how the full round would work on me, but definitely I realized that my left nostril is pretty cooked, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
you still have to unlock some of the.
You said you're left,
Yeah.
so then maybe you have some problems with the moon nadi. That's
Yeah, relaxation and
let me go
I
back.
have, you know.
That's quality of emotion, desire, and existence.
Mm.
So yeah, maybe you got some stuff to address. But yeah, let's get on to the next one.
Okay, so the last one that I want to talk about is Dirga pranayam. It's kind of like how you were talking about earlier with the Wim Hof. This way is teaching you how to breathe correctly, but it's also showing that you want the energy to flow from your root chakra all the way to your crown chakra. When people breathe normally, like through their chest, they're just letting the energy stay within them, and they're not letting it flow through all their chakras and through their body. But if you breathe through your diaphragm first, then your chest, and then all the way up where your shoulders bring up a little bit, then you get the full energy flow through your body. So I wanted to guide this breathing is kind of showing you guys breathing through your stomach first, and then breathing through your stomach, then your chest, and then breathing through your stomach, chest, and then your shoulders should come up, and then you reverse it. Shoulders down, chest down, and also compress your stomach to let the air out. That's when you let your air out. So we'll just practice with the stomach. Put one hand here to make sure you're breathing through your stomach, and this in all the through stomach, chest, then upper body. You can do this and then breathe out. You can do this around 5 to 10 times, but we're only going to do it one time. So just to get you guys used to it. So we'll do the practice the breathing through your stomach first, like five of them. And feel the breath. Don't do it forcefully, but just feel the breath. Should be only your stomach. Okay, so now I want you guys to feel your stomach and your chest. So stomach first and then your chest. And reverse it. Okay. If you did it 5 times, then we'll move on to the last one, which is we'll do this one. We'll do it around five times, and that'll be just the last one. You're doing all 3 movements. It's kind of called also the 3-part breathing pranayama. So I guess we can start now. Make sure the last part, when you breathe, your shoulders come up a little bit, and then you're reversing it the way down. Okay, ready? After the 5 times, you can breathe normally. And I also wanted to have a side note. Whenever you're doing this breathing technique, make sure to have your posture straight up, but to let the energy flow through your body like very easily. So that's kind of let it instead of breathing through your chest, learning how to breathe through your stomach first is very important, so that you can let the energy flow through all the chakras. And what do you guys think about that one?
I think that one was more chill.
A little less intense than the other ones. Yeah. And you can do it a little longer or a little less if you want to as well. So I guess you guys want to rate it now?
I think I got a technique wrong, so my rating might be off.
Oh, because your posture?
Yeah, maybe posture. I don't know. I think I got something wrong.
Yeah, that's why we were practicing a little bit. Like it takes a little bit to get used to breathing through your stomach first, and then. But I think if you want to learn how to do this technique, you should just practice all these individually first, and then get into the movement over and over again. So it comes with practice as well. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Pretty solid. Michael, why do you say for this one, 6?
Just maybe because again, like maybe the technique's wrong, but also it doesn't feel as intense.
Oh, so you prefer more of the intense type of breathing techniques, or like?
Yeah, with the more intense, I feel more like the feeling in your head, so you feel more relaxed.
Like after you're done the breathing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. I think everybody has their own way, and kind of their body is like everybody's body is different. So, I hope you guys watching can kind of choose all. Since we had 4, you can choose on a different day which one you want to do, or like practice one over and over again.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I really like this one. It got rid of my headache.
Thank you.
Oh,
Mm.
see,
Yeah,
see,
there you go.
exactly. If one
That's it.
caused you a headache, then another one will
Yeah.
come from.
Alex, for Alex here, kind of opposite to Michael, he had a problem with the more intense breathing, so he needed that calm little breathing to reduce his headache.
Yeah, but that's no mean to not do the Wim Hof. You can maybe do both just to counteract each other.
Yeah.
So go
that's
back
what's
to
up.
0.0.
No, you reap the benefits of both of them.
Yeah, I think practicing both of them is important as well. Like making sure you can breathe calmly and slowly, as well as having a very intense type of breathing.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. I hope. Yeah, I think this was a good episode. We gave you guys 3 techniques you can take with you now to go implement in your daily life. Hopefully, it can give you a sense of calm and relaxation, and just add to your daily routine. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode on Figuring Out Friday, brought to you by Healing Your Way. Like always, please like and subscribe to all of our social media platforms. We're here on Rumble, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So please check out all of those channels. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on next Friday's podcast.
See you guys.
Peace.
See you next week, guys.